what has happened, what has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado. It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. One left hand from Ron Paul. Right hand, right back from Mike Perry. Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and I have my respect, and I'm into this game, yeah, we'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC's 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, we got some runs being put up on the board in Chavez Ravine right now. The Dodgers were down 2-0. They're now up 4-2. The Athletics are up 3-1 on the White Sox after the White Sox tied that game up. And the Astros are up 3-2 right now, middle of the 10th inning. The Rangers are plus 100, trailing by a run, coming up with the ghost runner. But the Los Angeles Dodgers get back in business. And, of course, Freddie Freeman has made his return. I took him over 1.5 total bases. He does not have a hit yet in this game. But Hayward's got a double. Paz got a double. Otani's got an RBI here, his 80th RBI of the season. And Teoscar Hernandez continues to have a great season for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So 4-2 right now in this game. Our under 8.5 is under 8 is in a lot of trouble, but we are on the Dodgers in this game as well. All right, let's bring George Kurtz in right now on a Monday Night Meltdown. What's going on, Kurtz? How you doing tonight?
There were no crickets in my life tonight. No crickets on a Monday night here.
So far, you think we can get through? Yeah. Think we can get through this?
Maybe. I offer no promises. I was going to get a stuffed cricket just to bring on the show. If I could play like a stuffed cricket animal, I couldn't find one. But if I could have found it, I'd have gotten a stuffed cricket here. And by the way, I'm alone. The rest of the month, I'm alone. My family's in Asia, Philippines. Or at least they're on their way to the Philippines now. So it's just me and the dog for the next 3.5 weeks.
Weekend at Kurtz's.
Wow. You let loose with you and the dog. Wild times. Right now, you're gonna walk around like in your underwear, eating a brick of cheese, like Costanza.
That's the best.
I don't know about the brick of cheese, but I can guarantee you there'll be some boxer wearing, so that you can never do. Right, it's summertime. There will definitely be that. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing pants now, boys and girls. Okay, I gotta take a dog for a walk after this show, so there you go. But yes, there will definitely be that.
Well, speaking of the Philippines, the Philippines won their first ever men's gold medal in over the weekend, Kurtz, in gymnastics, and we've got the bonus that Carlos, what's the guy's name? Who is it? Carlos Yulo. That's it, Carlos Yulo. So Carlos Yulo is the first male Olympic gold medalist in Filipino history, and his bonus is a lifetime supply of ramen, fully furnished 2-bedroom condo, a house gifted by the government, and free colonoscopies for life, which I don't really understand. Why is that like a big thing? And if I don't really understand this, but like that's what he gets, George. What can you tell us about this? Married to a Filipino.
I was aware, by the way, the family did point it out to me, so I did know about this. I did not know about the, I guess we'll call it the benefits. Free colonoscopies for life. Okay, I think we've all had one. I don't know how many of these you need to go through where you need it to be for free. Does he not have health care? I mean, I guess it is what it is here, but I'll have to ask my wife about that one when she returns.
You know what? I'm shocked.
It's kind of a weird one that they threw in.
It really is weird, Gabe. Like out of all the things you're getting,
probably to promote it.
You know what I think he should have got? Free Jollibee chicken for life. That's the Filipinos' brand of chicken. It's one of the biggest chicken places ever.
Right.
They're huge. They opened up one here. The lineup was like 100.
Yeah, but he's an athlete. He doesn't eat that stuff.
Can he just have some? Like, you know, he can still train. You can have some chicken every once in a while. Anyway.
That makes sense.
No.
I get it.
No. Actually, I'm going to defend that. Ramen's even worse for you. It's got like as much salt or whatever. It's not like it's healthy. They're giving the guy ramen, but anyway, I would have gone with a Jollibee chicken. That's my. Yeah,
but their ramen's like real ramen, like noodles with like meat and stuff. It's not like the 25-cent pack
Mr.
stuff.
Noodles. Yeah.
No. It's not like packs. They're not giving them like crates of that stuff.
Crates of Mr. Noodles. That's brutal. That's not good.
Well, I was thinking that about Summer McIntosh. How is she not like signed with McDonald's already with Mac? Her name's McIntosh. Like she could promote smoothies or whatever. Like, you know, if you don't want to do the Big Macs. There's so many of these marketing things that I'm watching during the Olympics. I'm like, man, can't believe they haven't signed this person already. Or like they missed the boat. They missed the boat on that one. But I guess she'll start to sign stuff. Maybe she didn't want to. I don't know. Because I find it hard to believe someone that's just won 3 gold medals doesn't have any endorsement deals. So I imagine she will rather shortly. It's been an amazing Olympics for Summer McIntosh. And the swimming was just lit. So the events, I really enjoyed the swimming a lot. It's too bad it's coming to an end. We still have like, I think they're doing a 10K marathon in the pool, man. It's like an hour race type of deal, like back and forth. But for the most part, the swimming is sort of coming down to an end. There's a couple of men's events left still. I've got a bunch of Olympic picks for you. Like I said, we're into the team sports right now for the most part. And if you guys recall, for people tuning in, before it started, I gave you, we bet the beach volleyball. So and the men's volleyball. So for the record, remember I said Italy and Poland to play each other in the final. It's worked out. They're both in the semifinal right now. So, and they could end up playing each other, which would be perfect because we have Poland at plus 400 and we have Italy at plus 550 to win the gold medal in men's basketball. For the record, Italy are the favorites now for whatever reason, ahead of Poland. But Italy are the slight favorites. And our beach volleyball picks, which is super confusing because I've seen my players lose a couple of times, but they're still in it. So I don't know. They play 1 million matches. It is what it is, but they're into the same thing. They're going to the quarterfinals right now in both the men's and the women's beach volleyball. And remember, our parlay was the Lisboa Dudas, Ramona, the Brazilian girls, to win the women's. They're still alive. And our parlay in the men's parlayed with the men's, the Swedish guys, Helvig and Amen. Texas Rangers just win. Josh Smith. See, that's a walk-off. I don't have a problem with it. That's a walk-off. 2-run home run.
Right.
When you hit a home run, you can call it a walk-off. Yeah, I hate when they say, they walked it off. What, a single? You walked it off with a walk? I hate that stuff. I don't even like the term walk-off. If it's a home run, then it's a walk-off. But there it is, Kurtz. Texas were plus 100 going into the bottom end of the inning. They get it done. Big win for them.
Not a big win for me. I was on Houston, so that's disappointing. So, yay. Not what I was not what walk off or not. Either way, I had money walk out of my wallet right there, so not happy with that. You just don't know what you're going to get from Texas or Houston for that matter. I'm starting to hate the whole state of Texas. Different things, different sports. But yeah, not what I wanted. Not that I had a huge bet on it, but they were ahead the whole game, and then I sort of lost track of the game. Now I can see what you're talking about. So annoying, to put it nicely.
Yeah, it is what it is. You can't win them all, Kurtz.
No, and the night's going well. I'm on the Dodgers as well, so that's going well. It might start. And I had the Cardinals, so it started badly, but then the middle was good. Lightning looks like it's going to be good as well here, so I don't think I'm going to complain too much. It should be a good night, assuming the Dodgers don't fall apart here. I just thought with the Dodgers, by the way, I thought Freeman coming back. I didn't bet on Freeman. I didn't think about betting his total base prop, which I guess I'm glad about now, because if I would have, I think I would have agreed with you on taking it. But I thought the team itself would get a lift from his return, and certainly very good news out of his son Maximus. Everything's okay now, released from the hospital. That's fantastic for the Freemans. But I thought the team would get a lift from his return, and I thought that would help them get by tonight. Plus, I just don't trust Aaron Nola.
Looking at the updated World Series odds right now, I've been following baseball over the last week and a half still. I have my eye on it, obviously, and I'm betting a bit. I'm on the Athletics tonight. I'm on the Dodgers tonight. But I've been really focused in on the Olympics more than anything, and it's wiping me out. I'm glad they're going to be coming to an end, and then it's football time. But the Dodgers are still World Series favorites right now. So plus 320 for the Dodgers, the team they're playing tonight. The Philadelphia Phillies are the second choice. New York Yankees plus 550 right now. The Orioles are 6-1. The Braves are 10-1. Astros 15. Twins 16. Guardians 17. No love for San Diego at all here at 18-1. What do you think of these numbers, Kim? Yeah, they're dangerous teams that can make the playoffs.
The San Diego Padres at 18, I can go up to look at that list and go, Padres are better than you. I get it, Dodgers and Phillies, but the Padres are getting disrespected. They're getting their act together. They're good. They're getting hitting. They have a good staff. I'm telling you, 18-1 for the Padres is an absolute value play. I think even Kurtz would agree.
I would, but I think the team that should complain the most, by the way, would be the Guardians. How is Minnesota ahead of you? I mean, they have the best record in baseball. You hit their, 1, 2, 3, 8th? If I'm looking at right, they're 8th. Yep. And the Minnesota Twins are 5 hit behind you. They're better. I mean, that's the team that I think should bitch the most.
Good call.
You know what it is, though? The odds makers have no belief that the Guardians will win once they get to the playoffs.
Minnesota's going to play the Yankees. They have no shot.
And I'm
sure they're going to play the Yankees eventually, right?
They never win.
Not going to happen.
No, that's the one thing. We talked about San Diego last week when they were on the no-hitter and they've been on a run and stuff, but is they get to the playoffs, they can compete with anybody. And one thing is, I don't think, the Dodgers are great and stuff, but there's certain teams just match up well with the Dodgers. And San Diego are one of them, right? If you're the Dodgers, we've seen in past years them have problems with division teams in the playoffs. San Francisco beat them 3 years ago. Last year, San Diego beat them in the playoffs. Arizona beat them in the playoffs last year. And they've beaten other teams. Like division teams have been a problem for them. And as a Dodger fan, I wouldn't want to play San Diego. They get really fired up for it. They've already beaten us in the playoffs before. That's why I think they're dangerous, Kurtz, because they're one team that can deal with the Dodgers. They're not intimidated by the Dodgers. I'm not saying other teams are intimidated by them, but the Dodgers are better, I think. But San Diego, to me, very, very dangerous. Listen, the Braves are they're a great organization. You see that number there, but I think San Diego are more dangerous, actually, Kurtz.
I would agree. I think San Diego is more dangerous than the Braves. Yeah, I think the Braves are interesting because, hey, if Sale is going, Lopez now is put on the IL. If he's going, they can be an interesting team in a short series. But I think over a longer 7-game series, they're going to have problems here. San Diego, by the way, can say the same thing. Will Musgrove come back? As we don't know what's going on with Yu Darvish. Is he going to return? Or either one of these guys is going to be that guy. Tatis should return, I think, within the next couple of weeks, so that'll certainly help the offense. But I would agree. I think San Diego's a more dangerous team than Atlanta. That being said, I keep saying it over and over again. To me, the Dodgers and Phillies are on that collision course. That they're going to meet. I think that's what we all want to see, which generally means we won't see it. But I think those are the two teams that are going to end up facing off against each other.
I kind of don't want to see it. I don't really want the Dodgers having to play in Philadelphia on the East Coast. It could. I don't know. I think Philadelphia always peak too soon, actually. I'm gonna stand my ground and say the Dodgers get out of the National League and make it to the World Series, but the American League is interesting and sort of, wide open, kind of. Like we just said, nobody really believes in these Central Division teams. Like even they can rack up all these regular season wins. The Twins, the Yankees are dominant, man, against them. Absolutely. What's the record, Kurtz? 40-4 or something like that. It's 42-5.
The Twins over the last I think it's 160, 170 games, like 120 to 50. It's nuts how the Yankees dominate.
It's over the top. And Cleveland have struggled as well in the playoffs against these bigger teams. So then you get these West teams, whoever comes out of the West, are you fully buying? Can Baltimore pull it off? With all the ups and downs of the Yankees, Kurtz, the Yankees are right in the mix. It'll come down to their pitching in the playoffs.
And that's tough. That's going to be tough, man, right? Stroman's terrible right now. Cortez, they want to trade him at the deadline. And does anybody know what Garrett Cole really is? I don't know. He was good yesterday. He looked terrible in the first couple of innings, but then he was good after that. But he's not Garrett Cole. He's not the Cy Young Award winner from last year. Maybe he becomes that. This is really still his April, maybe his May, if he pitched from the beginning of the season. So maybe he'll figure it out here. But if Cole is not Cole, I don't know. Where's the pitching? Where's it coming from? You're going to hope Clark Schmidt returns in September and he's going to pitch as well as he did the first couple of months? That's a lot to ask.
Cam, what do you think about the American League?
I like the Orioles still. I know it's kind of chalky. I still think they're better than the Yankees. No offense, Kurtz. I like you.
I agree.
The Guardians are, they're a team I like, but I don't think they're going to go all the way. And if you're looking for another pooch, I would have to say the Seattle Mariners. They're a 10-1. That's a good number for me. There's flaky teams in the division. Texas hasn't been perfect. Houston's can have a power outage, and the Seattle Mariners have a great pitching staff. And if they can get hot with the bats, I think they're a very, very dangerous club. So for me, Baltimore and Seattle offer. Those are the teams I'd bet.
Seattle, we'll see what now that they've bolstered up a little bit if they could put enough runs on the board. It's hard to believe. I'd like to see Seattle do well, but the fact is they've never done it before. Mm-hmm. Like you want to talk about a franchise that struggled in the postseason? It's the Seattle Mariners, right? Now they beat the Blue Jays, but they've never made the World Series before. Is this going to be the year that they're able to do it? Can they hold off? Can they hold these other teams off? I got to tell you, Kurtz, when I look at this American League, man, I'm drawing a blank here. Like, there's a lot of, there's no, like, when you say the National League, I agree. It's sort of like, it's Philadelphia and it's LA. It's LA. And, you know what I mean? There's sort of the American League. It's like, I don't know. You got Baltimore. They're contenders. The Yankees are contenders. We're dismissing Minnesota and Cleveland, but they are good baseball teams. Cleveland are a good baseball team. And then you get the teams in the West. I have a hard time buying into Seattle. Will Seattle win a division, Kurtz, in the end? Or will it be Houston? Or even Texas? Texas are still striking.
Right.
That was a big win for them tonight.
That's a huge win for them. They're not out of it. Texas has been so inconsistent with the hitting.
Texas has problems, though, George. They got Scherzer on the DED again. They have a lot of issues, that team. They have a lot of older guys on that team, too.
I don't think they catch one of those two. I'm going to I hate to say Houston because I hate this team. I hate this team with a passion here. But the team I hate most, it's not the Red Sox, it's not the Mets, it's the Astros for obvious reasons here. And now Tuve will be the player I hate most, Buzzer Boy. But I think it's going to be Houston. They can't get rid of this team. You just can't get rid of this team. I think Seattle is the better team, and maybe they do have enough hitting here. And Seattle will get in the playoffs here. And certainly they're not a team I'd want to play in the playoffs, not with that staff here. And by the way, the Yankees don't want to play that because the staff is great. And Rosarina kills the Yankees, absolutely destroys the Yankees. I want nothing to do with that guy either. I'll go Houston.
That'd be a fun series. Yankees Seattle would be a fun series. If I was the Yankees, I wouldn't want it either. It's a pain in the ass, George, having to fly back and forth from Seattle.
That too. Yankees want Minnesota and Cleveland. The Yankees want the Central.
100%. 100%. I don't know, maybe we shouldn't be discounting them. Listen, as it is right now, the Kansas City Royals are in the playoffs, so we didn't talk about them. Not taking them seriously to win the World Series, are we?
No,
or the American League? No. I'm not. I'm not.
It's not happening. It's not happening. But a great year, though. Like, they've been the total overachievers. Yeah, great story.
They're going to sail over their win total. I think their win total was 72.5. They're at 63.
Yeah, they're going to crush it. Like, yes. They've been one of the best stories in baseball.
They've had a great year. The Boston Red Sox are 2.5 games back of them for a wild card spot right now. And they're the Rays. Even though they traded everybody, the Rays are only 5 games out. Watch them go on a run still. It's funny. These guys, they can't be killed. The Tampa Bay Rays on a 2-game win streak right now. But you're right about Arezarena. He's been a Yankee killer. From a fan perspective, that would be a fun series. Seattle versus the Yankees. Just it's an interesting sort of. I like series, George, that we don't see a lot. You know what I mean? like different matchups. Like, like in the 80s, we used to get like the Dodgers and Mets, which was cool. Like, I like anytime you get East Coast, West Coast, I think it's cool, Kurtz.
It'd be fun. I get it. I know what you're coming. I don't want to play Seattle. I just don't. I don't want to go up against that pitching. I think it's a bad matchup for the Yankees because that staff. I worry about the Yankee pitching. I think they're going to give up some runs, even to Seattle. And I think Seattle will. They won't allow runs. And I don't. The Yankees just aren't built to win 4-3 games. They're built to win 7-5. That's what they want to do with that. And I think teams, by the way, the Mets, and now you saw what Schneider did. Well, and I thought Schneider was. I don't even like Schneider. He was 100% correct. Don't let Judge beat you. You're going to see more teams doing the same thing. Yeah. And the Yankees don't have anybody behind them who can protect them. I think eventually the Yankees are going to have to think about either moving Soto to 3, Judge to 2, or Judge 1, just to get him to be able to get some at-bats here. Other than that, take first base, young man. I want nothing to do with you.
It's interesting. You're right about moving Judge in a lineup. I actually liked Ohtani at the leadoff spot, actually. Right, so it's the one benefit of it. You're kind of forced to pitch to him. Nobody wants to start off the game with an intentional walk. Right, and it sort of sets up throughout the rest of the game. Guys, we talk about these teams and that team and this team. It's going to be a great baseball tournament, all right, the playoffs, because baseball, there's always upsets. And the best teams, like, rarely win in baseball. It's very similar to the National Hockey League. Like, the President's Cup trophy curse is the same thing with the best record in baseball. The best record, like, rarely wins in baseball.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night it is going to be. Historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
One of my bigger Olympic parlays is still alive right now, although I lost the leading scorer player prop. Anytime something seems so good, it was almost too good to be true. It was. Number one, RJ Barrett scoring a lot of points, which is, you know what I mean? He's been like their go-to guy, RJ Barrett, for Canada. But what screwed me, I placed a bet, leading point score for each team, and I have Rui Hachimura on Japan. And Rui Hachimura got injured and left a game. That was it. And he didn't play after. So, boom, there goes my bet because of an injury. It's a cold world. And it's a warning, actually, coming up, and Paul Bovey was with us before last week talking about player props and stuff in the NFL. I'm not a massive fan, Kurtz, of NFL player props. I like team props. I look at somebody's numbers sometimes, and, they're like, oh, man, this guy's going to get this many touchdowns or he's going to throw for this many yards. Yet injuries just happen, and it can, there's no room for error. Like if you bet a team total, there could be injuries and you could still win your bet. You bet like a player prop, there's an injury, boom, you automatically lose. I'm very resistant, like coming into this year. Yeah, I lost Anthony Richardson bet last year. I lost a Derrick Henry bet when he got hurt. Like, I've been burnt by this stuff too many times. I just got burnt in an Olympic prop player bet somehow.
I do like some of them. Generally, the way I approach it, listen, a season-ending injury, you're toast. There's nothing you can do about it. I'll do the math. I'll see what the number is. Let's just say for giggles, someone's wide receiver was 1,000 yards, 1,000.5. And I won't divide it by 17. I'll divide it by 15 because everybody's going to miss a couple of games. Do I still like the yards per game for 15?
That's a good point. Yeah.
So that's how I'll do it. Plus, I don't want to tie all that much money up in all these futures. I like to play team win-loss futures more than I like to play player prop futures. I'm not going to tie up thousands of dollars until January. So I don't like doing that either. So I play more team futures than I will player futures. But yes, injuries are always a concern.
I used to look at it like that, Kurtz, but it's basically a safer stock market, in my opinion. You put the money in as long as you really like the bets. You got to have a real reason why you're going to play every future bet that you play. But I like to stockpile up on the futures, but I'm going to stay away from the player ones. I might play a few, and like you said, injuries are going to happen. It is what it is. But I've had bad luck with player prop injuries in the past. It's just not a market I'm overly enthusiastic about. And we always talk about when you're betting futures at this time of the year. I've said this for years, man, about I prefer to put the under bets in than the over bets. You might have to pay a little bit more of a price after, but bad things happen in training camps, and we've seen injuries already, and the Chargers are a good example of this. A Charger team that I was pretty bullish on coming into this season. I know there's going to take a couple of years for Harbaugh really to put this together, but it's just sort of been one thing after another for the Chargers in camp. Now you've got this NCAA thing. They're coming after Harbaugh again. Even though Harbaugh's in the NFL, it's a distraction. He's talking about it right now. And you got Justin Herbert with a plantar injury here. These are the type of injuries. In a walking boot for 2 weeks. That's the type of injury that sort of lingers too. That could come back. So he's going to miss training camp. He's going to come back. They're sort of hoping, and there's not even a guarantee he's going to be ready for week 1, to be honest. Like, the season's around the corner right now. I think he probably will be, but they've got to be careful with him. Like, they can't rush him back right now. And Easton Stick is the backup. Any concern, Kurtz, from you for Justin Herbert right now moving forward?
I've had plantar fasciitis in both feet at different times back in my hockey days. I don't know what degree he did. Mine was minor. His is obviously worse than mine. You can play through it. The problem is you were sort of hinting there, that's not healing this season. That injury takes forever to heal. All right, it just doesn't go away. And it's weird because there'll be times you feel fine, and then you make one step, and there it pops up again. It's an annoying injury, to put it nicely there. So I will worry about him. Like, he'll feel good during a game, then all of a sudden it'll bother him. I don't know if they're going to shoot him up. They very well might. That's
you can't shoot him up 17 weeks in a row, though. It's too much.
No,
So,
So the bottom line is I'm not totally worried. I wasn't betting any of his props anyway because the Chargers in my mind are 8, 9, 9, and 18.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Away from that.
This is what I'm saying about a player prop. Like, now, anything Justin Herbert related, and honestly, from a fantasy perspective, guys, now that Harbaugh is there, he doesn't want Herbert throwing the ball as much as he did in the past. Every football team, every team that Harbaugh's ever had before, and hell, he had Andrew Luck as his quarterback, and he still ran the ball all the time.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here, warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Early on the turn, right hand from my boy, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
This is SportsRage. The NFL kickoff rapidly approaching. The preseason began last week with controversy in a Hall of Fame game. We got a couple of games on Thursday night. We'll give you the point spreads, actually. I was planning on going over the point spreads. But talking about the injuries that have taken place. So Justin Herbert's in a boot. They're saying 2 to 3 weeks. Their original quote was they hope he's back for week 1 against the Raiders. Harbaugh he doesn't give anything to the media. And he already kind of got into it with I don't know how many times you guys are going to ask me in a different way, but I don't know. Like, they kept on coming at him about the Herbert stuff. And I like what he said. He goes, I'm not qualified to answer those questions. I'm not a doctor. It's like, you're the head coach. It's your quarterback. You kind of know what the status is. But he said, I'm not qualified to answer. But behind the scenes, the Chargers are concerned about the start of the season. And I would be, too, if I had Easton Stick as my quarterback to start the season. So I'm holding off on the Charger bets right now. Andy Dalton is injured. And this is news in its own right, because I didn't really realize, I guess he never really had an official retirement, Andy Dalton. But this guy's really hanging on, isn't he? Like, I know he's on the Carolina Panthers right now. Bryce Young's the quarterback. But did you even know, Kurtz, that Andy Dalton was still in the NFL right now?
I think I figured that out maybe about a week ago when I heard some news about
when he got hurt.
Still playing. I'm like, oh, look at that. No,
I'm like, Andy Dalton hurt. I'm like, what? He's in camp still? Like, really?
Yeah. Amazing.
Listen, I kind of respect that, right? You love the game. He certainly doesn't need the money. So he must. And you're playing for Carolina, which they're not about to make a Super Bowl run here. So he loves the game. Loves
he likes it. He likes tutoring Bryce Young. He likes being there. He likes. He loves football, right?
Former Cowboy, great quarterback.
Yeah, and he's kind of perfect too, because he's not going to be a jerk trying to start. He's just happy to be there.
Exactly.
And if he plays, he plays. But he's a supportive guy. Not all the vets are supportive. So, but yeah, same thing too. Like I said, I never was really. I thought kind of he did retire actually. Though. I was like, really, Dalton? It kind of surprised me. I'm like, oh, Dalton's hurt. Okay. Jonathan Brooks, running back, Carolina. Carolina's having a rough camp so far. Puka Nacua. Here's another one. And the Rams already lost. The Rams have been hit in their secondary already. And it's funny because Sean McVay hates training camp. Most players hate it, and some coaches like it, and they'll run their players into the ground. Like, McVay almost apologizes to his players. All right, we don't really have a choice. We have to do this. We have to sort of – he hates it because he knows, like, guys can only get hurt. And here we go again. Now, Puka Nacua suffered a knee injury in Saturday's practice. He's considered week to week right now. Demarcus Robinson and Tutu Atwell are in line for more snaps now as he recovers, Kurtz. Not good news in Los Angeles.
All right, he better recover. All right, because else that team is pretty much sunk there. I don't take anybody at their word. All right, I like to use the line here. When can you tell a coach is lying?
No, week to week isn't good, bro. Day to day isn't bad. Week to week means we got a problem.
Week to week
He's
means you're out a couple of weeks.
Yes.
There's a tear. You tore your knee up. Maybe a minor tear. A sprain is a tear for anybody who doesn't know that. It's a sprain. That's a tear. It's a minor tear, but you tore it. So it depends on what degree. Knees are another thing. They're slow to heal. Yes, he may be able to play, but maybe he won't be the same guy he was last year. So, and by the way, Kupp's always hurt as well. He's having a good camp, though, from the sounds of it, so good for them. And Blake Corum, the rookie running back, looks fantastic. They should have a great running game with Kyron Williams. If everything goes well for the Rams, which it's not, this could be a really intriguing team this year. But as we talked during the break, I mean, they've had some defensive players get hurt. Aaron Donald left here. There's always a team that gets taken off the board by injuries, nothing they can do. And start looking at the Rams, they just might be that team this year.
Yeah, both LA teams. And they haven't even played a preseason game yet. And it should be noted for betting purposes, McVay hates the preseason. Like, he hates these games. He literally hands the football off 50 times in a row and runs the ball up the middle. There's not like he doesn't like the games. He doesn't like showing up. Like, it really bothers him. And it's a good bet against. There was last year where they found themselves in a track meet or two, which surprised me. But generally, McVay hates the preseason, and now especially with all these players getting injured. And we talk about Carolina. Jonathan Brooks hurt. Xavier Leggett is hurt, guys. Xavier Leggett, their rookie draft pick, who's going to be a big part of the offense. He's hurt right now. So the Carolina Panthers have just been hit hard so far. Those are the bigger names for the most part. Here's another one, though. Rashad Bateman already has injury problems in camp, and this has been a common theme, Cam and George, with Rashad Bateman since he's arrived in the NFL. No one disputes the guy's talent, but he has a hard time staying on the field. And now here we go. I know it's only training camp now, but it's just sort of a sign of things to come for Rashad Bateman. I don't know if you stayed away from him, Kurtz, in your fantasy leagues or not.
I think in the Scott Fishbowl, I got him in round 20, so I'm okay with that. I got it very late. The value was there, so I wouldn't spend any top draft capital on him. In most leagues, man, your last couple of picks, outside if you play with a kicker in D, fine. They're lottery picks, right? They're mud against the wall, see if something sticks. Those are the first guys you're going to release anyway, as soon as you find the hot guy on the waiver wire. So Bateman, worth a shot. We'll see what happens, but I'm not expecting big things.
And the Brandon Ayuk story just continues to go on and on and on here. I'm sick of it. I've kind of tuned out of it, Kurtz. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm not going to live and die like, oh, my God, look, he shook Kyle Shanahan's hand on the field the other day, right? And people didn't know what the hell that meant. He showed up. He's been there. It's one of the stranger things. He's showing up every day, but he's not going on the field. So it's kind of becoming a distraction to everybody. And he shook Lynch's hand, and he shook the coach's hand, and he walked away. And people were like, well, this either means that he just re-signed and it's all good, or he was saying bye to them, like, all right, I'm done. And this story keeps on going on and on and on here, Kurtz, but the season's coming up here. Like, this story's going to have a close soon. There has to be an ending to this Ayuk story. Like, something's got to give, bro. We're kicking off in less than a month now.
Yeah, they were talking about that, the exact thing you're mentioning on NFL Live today, that sooner or later the 49ers are going to have to make a choice. And that other teams are sort of circling, waiting for them to get tired of it. It's a hold in, right? He's doing a hold in. He's there, but he's not practicing, so he avoids the $50,000 that they fine. Unlike Trent Williams, they don't seem to care about the fine. He's not there at all. So
it's funny that he shows up. It's pretty slick of him to show up.
Why wouldn't all players do that? Why would if you want to do content? Why would you do a hold in? Oh yeah, I'll show up, but I'm not practicing. Jamar Chase is doing that. I don't know why CeeDee Lamb's on his first contract, so they can wipe off those fines. But why is Trent Williams just? What is he up to? 750,000, something like right? No, I think it's 700,000 right now. They can't. Then he's fined. You have to fine these guys. CBA says it. You can't wipe it out. Why would you show up and go? No, I'm not practicing, but I'm here. I don't
Trent
know why
Williams, if he will play for San Francisco if he doesn't. Let's remember when they went on that 3-game losing streak. Cleveland beat them. They were a totally different team without him there. He's one of the most important guys. Purdy will get killed without him. They got exposed when he was out of the lineup. When he was in the lineup, they did anything they wanted to do.
The problem with San Francisco is they've paid a couple of people, but then it just upsets other people on the team. And let's just be real. They've already operated. I don't know how they keep on finding room for this stuff, and they move this here and they move that there. But I don't think they have the money. I think finally reality's kicked in here. This is why they drafted Pearsall out of Florida when they did, knowing that this thing's going to implode. But I don't know what they're waiting so long for. Like, teams are going to have to know to set their own, their own cap and their own situation. I got to believe that this thing is resolved probably by the end of the week right now. Because if a team is going to get them, they want to get them into camp and get them acclimated with the playbook a little bit. Like I said, the season's going to be here before we know it, guys. On the other side, we'll get you caught up to date with the point spreads. It's funny because we've been saying that we think the two worst teams in the NFL this year are going to be the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. Well, the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers are playing each other on Thursday, which might be the worst game in the history of professional football.
It'll be fine.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fight. It was a big night of memorable moments. Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Left hand from Ron Paul. Right hand right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man? It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here, warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Perry on the turn. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double check. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form. Bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. We'll get back to a couple of Olympic picks. But I retweeted this today, the flag football 2028 in L.A. The NFL is really fired up for this. They're investing $1 billion in flag football in between now and 2028. It's a serious investment. Like at the youth level, you're going to see a lot. Like I said, it's 4 years away. They're already beginning with the videos and the promo. And it's a lot of fun to sort of speculate who's going to be on the team. People saw today, like, the NFL's first official video they did for it. It was basically like all the Olympics in Paris are coming to an end. And you know how they pass the torch, essentially, right? Like, even though it's 4 years away, it's like, LA, you're on the clock, and they get the torch. And so it was a really cool video of Jalen Hurts in the parking lot of the LA Memorial Coliseum. And he's there, and he's like, the Olympics are coming. It's our time. and he throws a football and it catches fire and it lights the torch and stuff. And he's like, it's the NFL and the Olympics. And it's going to be badass, actually, to see, like, who actually ends up on the team. And I'm curious, too, Cam. I'm going to, like, I might have to call the CFL myself. I'm going to try to get the answer for this. But they're going to have to figure it out because the Olympics are going to be in the middle of the CFL season. So, like, even though it's 4 years away, they need to plan this and realize this is too big for us not to be partaking in. Like, this is our chance to go head-to-head with the NFL, essentially, right? Yes. And if you're the CFL, you need to shut your league down for a couple of weeks, which I'm sure I'm sure some people won't be overly excited about, but it's not that long anyways. This flag football tournament will probably be like 5 days or something. You might just have to shut it down for a week and a half, and or play on with some of the stars not there because, there's so many good Canadian wide receivers and there's so many good Canadian wide receivers. It's the one position the Canadians have actually in the NFL that they'll be able to field a team. The American team, it's hard to say. It's 4 years away just because guys are saying they want to play now doesn't mean they'll make the team then. Or they'll be the ones like Justin Jefferson wants to be on the team. Joe Burrow wants to be on the team. Mahomes wants to be on the team. Hurts wants to be on the team. Micah Parsons wants to play. There's a bunch of dudes like A.J. Brown. Like, there's a lot of big-name players that want in on this thing. And if you look at Canada, they got Nate Rourke at quarterback. You got Trey Ford with the Edmonton Elks at quarterback. Interesting as well. Brett Rippon is actually Canadian. Backup quarterback in the NFL. Curtis Rourke, Indiana University. Quarterback is a little thin, but we got enough. Running back, Chuba Hubbard is Canadian of the Carolina Panthers. Chase Brown of the Cincinnati Bengals is Canadian. Brady Oliveira, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. This is one that caught me off guard here, and I know we're a little bit a ways here, but Buffalo Bill tight end Dalton Kincaid is Canadian. He's a dual citizen, and he's played for Canada before. Dalton Kincaid, like, he's been associated with Canadian football before. So, and supposedly word was that he would play for Canada in the Olympics. But like I said, we're a little ways away from this. But this stuff's going to be lit, Kurtz. Flag football, NFL football players in the Olympics. You'll have a reason to watch.
I've been watching more. By the way, my favorite tweet from you, by the way, was the one where you said, if you don't watch the Olympics, you're not a sports fan. Not so much for what you said, but for the pictures you then put there, for the reason why you should watch the Olympics. That was pretty good. All right, that certainly got my attention. If any male, it should have gotten there.
Yeah, the Olympics are like a Van Halen video with sports, George. It's Baywatch. It's Baywatch with gold medals, essentially.
It's that. I wonder this. I would certainly watch. There's no doubt. I wonder how many owners / GMs are not going to be thrilled about this. It may not be tackle football, but there will be injuries. Someone's going to blow a knee out. All right.
They're definitely. You remember Robert Edwards? Robert Edwards shredded his knee at the
WBC. They fight the WBC.
Yeah, but the difference is the owners didn't put $1 billion into the WBC. The NFL put money into this.
Fair.
Everything's for profit, George. Right? Like baseball.
That's true. They don't give a crap about anything but money. That's very true.
Exactly. So if they risk a couple of torn ACLs to get into the Olympics and make more billions, they're good with it.
Yep.
It's true. It's a really sad commentary, but it's very true about the NFL. It's all they care about. It's about dollar signs here. It's all they care about, nothing else. But
injuries happen in preseason. We were just talking about it. Not even in training camp games. Look at all the list of all these players I just talked about that are hurt. They haven't played a single preseason game yet, guys. They all got hurt just running around a field on their own.
I would wonder. I assume 4 years. I assume it's going to be in August again, right? So I would wonder, you're not going to have linebackers. If you have linebackers, will they be ready to hit? Because they'll be out of camp for even probably 10 days, 10, 14 days. It'd be different. Because I don't know how I would judge by that.
You know what the thing is?
There won't be. He was 5 players. He was 1.
There won't be that many of them, though. So that's why the NFL, you're right, Kurt. There'll be an owner or two who's going to be worried watching his quarterback out there. But there's not that many players. And they only have one team, right? So, how many guys are going to be? 12 guys? You know what I mean? 14 guys, whatever.
That's the point, Gabe. You talk about the CFL. The season's already so damn long. They're just going to have to say, we're going on without you guys. They can't take any more. We've talked about this forever, how long that season is. You're going to take 2 more weeks off on top of it?
You can wait the extra 2 weeks. I'm going to show some ignorance here. Do they have bye weeks in the CFL?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you could maneuver
right there. You can definitely
maneuver. You can maneuver around, like I said.
Bye-week.
And I guarantee you, the NFL is going to have a lot of power in this thing. They don't want it to stretch out too long either. They're going to want a quick little in and out, little, 5-day tournament here, preliminary round, quarterfinals, boom, finals, games a day, sort of like the 3-on-3 basketball. It'll go by really quickly. It's going to be a hot ticket, though. There's going to be a hot ticket in LA. LA's under a lot of pressure, man. It's going to be, like I said, these French games have looked great on TV. The ratings have been awesome for NBC as well.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fight. It was a big night of memorable moments. Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Left hand from Ron Paul. Right hand, right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man? It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
At 5-1 for the Oakland Athletics over the White Sox. And Dodgers are nursing a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the sixth right now in this game. So the total in that game right now, the Dodger game is 9.5. The Dodgers are minus 330. The Phillies are plus 240, only down a run. Not a bad price for the Phillies, down a run only. And the White Sox and the Athletics, this game is coming to an end, actually. There's one out in the top of the ninth inning. So the White Sox are on the verge of losing their 21st consecutive baseball game. Cam, the Olympics are resuming in a couple hours. Once again, what do you got for us as far as your bets are concerned?
Well, I've already taken the Brazil plus 27 men's basketball against USA. I'm going to lay it with Canada, but you bring up great points with the point spread in that game. I'll have more ladies picks. The golf gets underway on Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I'm putting my portfolio together with women's golf. And other than that, Morency, that's about it. I got a few other things on the go.
I'm taking, we've already given you her, but she's into the final now. It goes down tomorrow afternoon. Cameron Rogers, Canadian hammer throw. She was the pre-Olympic favorite at minus 134. She's still the favorite right now, but she's minus 167. The throws have been close with the other girls, so there's 4 in the final. That's how it works. They're down to the final 4 right now. And she's minus 167 right now. So, and I do think she's going to win. So if you didn't get in at 134, it's not a bad price, still 167. I really hope she's able to pull this off because it'll get us to 6 for Canada. It'll get us over 5.5 here as well. And I already have her to win. The beach volleyball, the men's team that we picked, we parlayed them together. We parlayed the men and the women's winners together. They're both still alive right now. I'm not sure they're both going to win. One thing about this beach volleyball is very like the 3-on-3 basketball. Every game is like 21-19. They're all super close. Like what? And they all beat each other. Oh, they won by 1. They lost by 1. And so it's a real toss-up. So anything can happen, but they're still alive right now. Ana Silva Ramos and Eduardo Santos Lisboa Duda, the Brazilian pair, women's beach volleyball to win it all are plus 100. They're getting back at it any overnight in the morning hours as well again. Eamon and Jonathan Helvig, the Swedish men, they're still in this thing. They're plus 225 right now. So between the two of them, one of them will win. And listen, if the men win, you get a nice plus 225 there. And our other pick here is the Canadian women in the women's beach volleyball as well. I like the Brazilians. I already have them. But Melissa Humana Paredes and Brandy Wilkerson, the Canadian girls, they're on fire right now. And they're just 2 wins away from playing in the final. You're getting them at 9-1. I don't think they're getting enough respect. Plus 900. They just eliminated the American pair today, which was pretty impressive. Wilkerson's a badass. She's been in the Olympics before. She's playing great volleyball right now. Plus 900, man. I wouldn't mind having Canada plus 900 going into the final. Only 2 matches away from making the final right now in women's beach volleyball. So plus 900 on the future for Canada there. And George, with the NFL coming up this week, I guess on Wednesday we'll hit this, but some teams are going to be really bad in the regular season, but they're going to be good bet-on teams in the preseason. And a classic example of this, the Raiders and the Vikings. The odds makers are onto this, guys. The Raiders are 5.5-point favorites. Aiden O'Connell is going to play a full quarter, and Gardner Minshew is going to play a full quarter. They have a legitimate, real quarterback battle going on. They're not hiding it. Like Pierce is like, you're both going to like, it's like an audition here going on. Odds makers caught on to that one. And a team that I think is going to suck, guys, in the regular season, but I think they could be a good preseason bet-on team, the Denver Broncos, because of their quarterback situation. Zach Wilson is the type of guy you want in a preseason game, guys. He has NFL experience. Jared Stidham is a guy that started NFL games before. And you got Bo Nix, who's played in 1 million college football games before and is trying to win the job as well. The Denver Broncos, guys, great quarterback situation to bet on the preseason.
Look at Seattle's 3, Gabe. They got Geno Smith, you got Howell, and you got P.J. Walker. That's a nice little exhibition preseason 3. They'll be good with Baltimore's coach over, too.
They won't play. Well, Geno won't play, but it's a good backup. It's a good backup situation that you have there. Kurtz, what do you think about the NFL preseason and on our way out here?
I think you guys are killing me. I never used to bet preseason when I was on with you guys. Now you do way too much. I'm on with Cam Saturday and Sunday night.